What's up, guys? It's your girl. I have come here to present something for you guys. So I have been reading this book with a friend of mine, and it just made me, rethink my whole life. So I just wanted to share a few things that got me rethinking. Right? Okay, so first let's start about the book, right? The book is called Jesus versus Religion by Jefferson something. I don't know how to say that name. I think, first of all, this book came out like a minute ago, and I think it started with like a YouTube video by like the same author, and I saw that YouTube video, and it's so how people are living a religious way of Christianity and not really pursuing Jesus himself, And so when I saw that like a few years ago, I was like, man, I'm actually living in the religious way, and I need to actually pursue the Lord, like, Jesus properly. But I don't know. I have not, like I have, but not really, So like reading this book got me like, Sally, what are you doing with your life, So let's read a few things, right? So one part that got me really shook was how, okay, so it says, religion says do and Jesus says done. Religion is men searching for God, and Jesus is God searching for men, okay? And it says religion is pursuing God by our moral efforts, and Jesus is God pursuing us despite our moral efforts. That one hit, okay? And then lastly, it says religious people kill for what they believe, and Jesus followers die for what they believe. And so when I read that, I was like, man, bro, our world is living in a religious like way of Christianity, and they're not really pursuing like the Lord, they're not really pursuing Jesus, and they're not walking in the way of that. Like literally it says religious people kill for what they believe. Isn't that what's happening, bro? It's been happening and it's still happening. And a lot of us really, this whole like the moral efforts, how like, let me just repeat that part, because that one is the one that really, yeah, okay. It says religion is pursuing God by our moral efforts, and Jesus is God pursuing us despite our moral efforts. And I've been living in this like okay, an easy thing, right? I'll watch a movie or a show or something, and if it's like not a clean version or whatever, I will not read the Bible right after, because I'm just like, oh, just saw something bad. I'm not holy enough to pick up the Bible and read it, basically, Or yeah, I would feel so like dirty to even like talk to God, because I'm just like, I'm not worthy. Okay, so what makes me worthy to talk to God after? You know what I mean? It's just, it honestly doesn't make sense when your eyes are actually open, but at that moment it's just like, or like basically, yeah. So like it's like I've sinned, so I'm not worthy enough to talk to the Lord or like to come onto him. But it's like actually Jesus wants you at your messiest, at like the most, and so like reading this was just like, man, it's like so easy to fall into the religion way. And it goes on saying how like no wonder Christianity and Jesus' message of salvation is called good news. It isn't just good advice like religion. It's good news, just Jesus. And it's not declaring what we must do, but declaring what he has already done. And that's what the good news is. And it's just like, it's so beautiful, And another thing that like hit me was just what else? It was talking about like why like some non-believers don't like Jesus, and it says how like, because like basically they think we're like Christians are like hypocrites, and they say don't do this or do that, but we do it anyway, but like in hiding or whatever. And how like it says, you know, you need to hate gays, and like you can't drink beer, and like no tattoos has become the essence of Christianity. And but the thing is, like, they've gotten this idea from, it says like, from people they grew up with, churches they went to as kids, and preachers they saw on TV. So it was the church's fault that they thought this was what real Christianity was all about. And he dropped like this fun fact thing. Okay, he said 100 of unsaved men, out of 100 unsaved men, one might read the Bible, but the other 99 will read Christians. And so I'm just like, hold up, so we are the one that represent Christ, you know? So how we live is how they're going to see Jesus. So basically we're the ambassadors of the Lord, okay? And like, if we're not living the right way, then we're not going to be able to let other people know about the Lord, you know? And it's so funny because, like, okay, actually let me just read the part. And like, okay, so it says how ironically the reasons that non-believers opposed Jesus were sometimes the same reason Jesus opposed the religious people of his time, right? And so basically it's saying how people are against Jesus, but really y'all don't know that you and him are on the same page, you know? Remember how, like, you know, back in the days, like, the Pharisees were hypocrites, but like Jesus was there, like, pointing it out to them and like letting them know, which is why they really hated him, because he's been bringing up to light what they are hiding. And literally, well, okay, so basically what I'm just trying to say is that we need to stop living in this religion way and like actually, like, first of all, okay, you know how it says, the fun fact, like I said, how out of 100 unsaved men, one might read the Bible, but the other 99 will read Christians. See, like, if the other 99 read the Bible, they wouldn't like fall into the wrong like idea what Christianity is by reading Christians, because they will actually know who the real Jesus is when they read the Bible. So if we read the Bible, then we will actually know who Jesus really is, and so we won't even fall into the religious way of life, but actually pursue Jesus. And as for the other part that I mentioned, we need to realize that we are ambassadors of Christ. Therefore, how we live and what we put out there is actually put out there for like non-believers to see what real Christianity is really like. So so we gotta be careful on that, you know? So I'm gonna just end it with, you know, I just pray that the Holy Spirit leads us and guides us in the path that we be taking, because we need it. So yeah, I hope you have a great day or a great night or a great morning, whatever time y'all watching this. Stay blessed.